Hey guys, it's Corey Ross and welcome to this tour of the new Hereford base. So this is a map rework and the very first one in Rainbow Six Siege. We've had map buffs before, but this is a full rework where they take an old map and entirely change it and upgrade it to make it into an almost brand new map. And from the outside you might recognize Hereford base, but when you get inside it is entirely different. So we'll start our tour from the shooting range. So all of the spawn points for attackers are pretty much the same as the original Hereford map, but the only difference is the upgrade in visuals. So we'll make our way up to the Hereford base sign here, and this shows us the objective building. Now it has a lot less windows than the original building. A lot of them are barricaded up. There's only 2 accessible on this side. And you'll notice that on every side of the map there's definitely a lot less windows, so a lot less spawn peeking capabilities by the defenders. You can see here there's a much more open approach to the basement with multiple soft walls that can be reinforced by defenders and attacked by the attackers. There's also multiple access points to this basement area as well. You'll also see the staircase up the side, very reminiscent of the original map except massively expanded and much bigger, giving you access as the attacker to the different levels with multiple access points. Now coming back down the stairs back to ground level, you can see that we no longer have an outside reinforced wall up on the first floor. Instead we actually have 2 windows with another one further up. This is the only way into this side of the building. However, if you go around the back here, this is dramatically different. We've got boarded up windows, we've got another access point to the basement, so you can come in from a different angle, again towards those soft walls, although this is probably not a very safe approach. But at the back here we have a soft wall going into the back of the building. This will give you access to the first floor and potentially give you a nice attack route to get inside. And of course this can be reinforced by the defensive team. But it's quite open, there's 2 doorways, so the defenders have multiple opportunities to defend that entry point. However, going up, this is dramatically different from the original Hereford. You can see we have this whole balcony section with multiple access points for each level. This gives you easy access to all the different levels of the map. However, moving around to the side here, we can see again, all those windows are barricaded up. We then have the garage. So this is again another soft wall you can use to enter as the attackers. You can also climb up on top of the garage in order to access the second level. And also on the ground level you have that window access point. But we'll make our way around the side here and actually take a look at another access point for the basement. So coming down here we have a soft wall on the left hand side that can be reinforced by defenders, and we have a door here as well. Now this makes breaking through this with your hard breachers quite difficult with that door right there covering it, so you have to push in and actually take over that area in order to go through that reinforced wall. But then continuing up to the front here, this is dramatically different. This is where the biggest difference to this map comes in. We now have the double door kind of on the side, and it doesn't really lead into a central corridor like it used to. Instead it breaks off in multiple directions and it's a far bigger map. So we still kind of have the central corridor and the 2 bomb sites either side with the kitchen and the dining room. However, the layout is just entirely different as we move through. We kind of have some similarities here with like the floor panel to the original Hereford. It's kind of in a similar place. But moving on through, we start to get a little bit more confused. This is kind of the piano room, but it's very different. As you can see, it has an access window here now that looks out over the side where the reinforced wall used to be. We have destructible walls in very similar locations to the original map. This is where the outside wall used to be, but now it's just a window. Another roof panel to access the basement. You'll notice that there's a lot of roof access panels in this map, and this is a big part of the map now. It has a lot of verticality, so you'll notice that a lot of the ceilings are destructible and a lot of them have roof panels for accessing. So before we go upstairs, we'll show you the brand new garage. But not only that, there's one other thing we should show you too, which is the second staircase. So this map now has a second interior staircase. So here we are in the garage. This is dramatically different, but also extremely similar to the original map. Now you'll notice that there is no longer a ladder access to the basement. Instead, it's just a roof hatch. And if we go upstairs on top of the garage, you can see that we still have quite a few access points here, but you'll notice all of the windows are blocked apart from one, and then we have this soft wall that we can go through. Of course, this can be reinforced by the defenders on the inside. So let's head back in through the garage window and continue the tour of the ground floor. So this is by far the most familiar of floors compared to the original Hereford. It's still got some of the layout in it, although it's a lot bigger, and there is additional ways now to move around as either a defender or an attacker. So it gives you a lot more options than it had before. But let's head into the basement. This is the most dramatically changed floor. The original Hereford had a very unique basement that you would remember very, very easily. However, the basement in the new Hereford is just dramatically different. It is a completely different beast. The layout is completely different, and you'll get lost in here very, very easily. There's a lot of access panels for roof access, and there is a lot of different ways to access from the exterior, as well as the two different staircases in order to get into the basement as well. So there's just so many ways in. There's so many little hiding places you can get. For instance, these barrels, you can melee them away, but you'll notice there's a metal bar below them, so you cannot use them for a hiding spot. However, I'm going to show you a really good hiding spot. As you can see, we've got a lot of external walls here, but we've got a lot of cover once you move in. So very good for attackers and defenders. And this is the thing about the new Hereford. It is very much about giving you much more options. But you'll notice here we have these barrels, and you'll notice that they don't have the metal on the floor. So you can actually melee one of these barrels completely out, and then you can actually get in and use it as a hiding spot. This is really good as a defender because you can hide in here while the enemy break in through the external walls and sneak in, and then you can surprise them from your little barrel hiding spot. But as you can see, the layout here is just, it's different. It's completely different. There's tons of cover, there's tons of different doorways. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot of roof hatches. And of course, those two staircases that lead down to the basement as well, giving you multiple options on how to attack and defend this floor. However, let's now move upstairs. So that was the basement. This is the first floor. We're now going to go up to the second floor. So this is, again, a dramatic difference from the original Hereford base, but there's still some familiar parts. So of course we've got the kids' bedroom, which is one of the bomb sites, and we have the master bedroom, which is bomb site number 2. So looking through it, you'll notice this room immediately. The external wall is just there on the right hand side. We also have a lot of soft walls that we can go through as well, just like the old Hereford. And we have 2 window access points, one leading out onto the garage and this one leading out onto the balcony, along with another floor hatch access in the level below. And if we move through here, we go into the laundry room. This is quite an interesting room with a lot of cover, quite good for the attackers. And as you can see, it leads out onto the balcony. So both these balcony access points are on either side of the stairwell. So as an attacker, you have to worry about getting attacked from the flank, but also as a defender, you could potentially use that to go outside and then back inside the building to kind of flank enemy locations. And then moving through this entire floor, it is just dramatically different from how it was before. And here is the access to the staircase on the exterior. Again, this can be used by both attackers and defenders to move around. Now we'll head back in through the doorway that we left, back onto the second floor and continue the tour around. So as you can see, there's just tons of cover for both attackers and defenders. We've got the second staircase there to give us easy access up and down. And again, we've got just a couple of windows for the exterior, not many at all. Most of them are all barricaded up. But let's head upstairs to the top floor. So up here we've got the bomb site number 1, which is the ammo storage, and bomb site number 2, which is the tractor storage. Now if we go up here, this is nothing like it used to be at all. It is a very wide corridor, massive rooms, lots of cover, lots of different areas for people to be hiding. It is a dramatically different map from how it used to be, but it does look incredibly gorgeous. Again, of course, we have those 2 staircases that lead up. We have the balcony at the back. We have the outside staircase as well, and we have quite a few different window selections. And of course, we also have some roof panels as well that allow us to access the floor below. So this map just has a lot of different ways to get around, and it's much more expansive than the original Hereford base. Dramatically different. I think you might agree with me that this is not just a rework of a map, but a brand new map in itself. It is so different from the original. Now that I've given you an entire tour of this brand new map, why don't I show you some tips and tricks. So to start with, we have this window at the very front of the building on the top floor. You can actually jump out of this onto the balcony and then down to overwatch the reinforced wall down here. So if some nasty attackers are attempting to breach through, you can jump down and take them out. Another great tip is at the top of the map, you will find this little hole just big enough to put your drone in, and it allows you to get this beautiful access and viewpoint for the top floor. You get to see a lot of the area and of course watch the defenders as they move around. You've even got these wooden beams as well, which you can use to go even further out and get very nice angles. Now at the Spitfire spawn point, you'll find these two lovely Spitfires, but you'll actually notice that they have plaques underneath them. Now if you actually read them, you'll see that they are actually refurbished by Jaeger. So Jaeger's actually fixed up both of these Spitfires, and of course that is a pretty cool little background detail in this brand new map. So there you go guys, I hope you enjoyed my little tour of the new Hereford base, and I hope you enjoy playing it with Operation Crimson Sky. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.